Humanos despreciables, prepárense para recibir su castigo.
Guys, hey guys, I'm back. Sorry I've been gone for so long. I caught Corona. I caught COVID-19 twice in a row, so like I was in quarantine for a long time. Yeah, sorry, but I'm back now. I'm be starting a new live, but I'll be continuing. What if Naruto was the Grand Priest in Trigon's reincarnation, part 4. Tomorrow. So yeah, let's get started. So this would be what if Naruto was Goku Black's and Beerus's reincarnation, because these are my two favorite characters, like of all time, out of Dragon Ball Z. So yeah, let's get started. So I'm gonna say we all know how Goku Black died. He was erased by Grand Zeno. He was erased by Grand Zeno from the universe. Him and Zamazu. And when Goku Black died, him and Zamazu's spirit met, and Goku Black was devious enough to make one last wish. If him or Zamazu ever were to die, he knew he couldn't be erased from a timeline. He knew that because of his time ring. But he wished that whatever his incarnation or whatever incarnation of him that comes back will have all his powers plus more, and Zamazu's. So like he has Zamazu's immortality and his God Key and all of that. Even though he is Zamazu, he's just like inside of Goku's body. He already can mimic whatever Goku does. And so once he died, he knew that he was going to be reincarnated into, the universe again, or the multiverse. And then there's Beerus. We skip ahead. He died from letting Vegeta take over his role as God of Destruction. But he knew that there's a rule that God of Destructions can't really die. They just reincarnate into another body, but never remember that they were a God of Destruction. And they don't keep their same God of Destruction abilities. But, the Grand Priest pulled a little strings. He did this on purpose because he wanted to see what would happen. He was the one that made Goku Black's and Beerus's, meet, and wherever Beerus go to reincarnate it, Goku Black will go there as well. So they're going, and skip over to the Naruto universe, and Kushina is laying on the bed. She's having her 3 children. Let's see who's the oldest. Okay, we can say Naruto, Minma, and Mito. Naruto's being the oldest, Minma being the second oldest, and Mito being the youngest. I'm just do it like that. And then that's when the Nine Tails attack happened. The masked man comes in and he takes the babies, etc., etc. Well, he takes Naruto. And Kushina's sister, let me say Kushina had a sister. She was killed by the masked man, so it was at the Hokage's wife. And then Minato had to save Naruto, so now he blames Naruto for Kushina being taken. And then Naruto is crying, but then the Naruto attack happened. Minato and Kushina beat the masked man because, well, from what I've heard, Uzumakis have a strong willpower and they're very durable, so I don't think that a tail beast will be removing from them would actually, harm them to the point where they die. That's what but I think it's true. I don't know. I'll check upon it, but I don't know if it's true. And so Naruto is uh, just crying, and Minato is about to do the Reaper Death Seal, but the third Hokage comes and he chops him on the neck, putting him to sleep. Kushina asks, why did he do that? Is he betraying the village? The Hokage says no, he doesn't want Minato to die. He's already old enough, and he don't think he could become Hokage again and take over the village. Kushina thinks about it, and then the Nine-Tail sees that he's about to be sealed into these two brats. So he tries to like get himself out of it, but he impales the Hokage. He was trying to impale the children, but he impaled the Hokage. And then the third Hokage done the Reaper Death Seal. He sealed 50% of the soul and chakra into Menma, 50% of the soul and chakra into Mito, because like really, does Naruto really even need it at this point? Like, it's Goku Black's and Beerus' reincarnation. So he done that and he died. Minato wakes up and asks Kushi what happened. She explains it. The Umbu goes reports to Danzo what happened. Danzo is happy now. He think he'll be able to take the role because the Umbu left before Minato woke up, so he thinks Minato is dead and everything, but no, not true. And Minato blames Naruto, so does Kushina, for her sister being killed and everything, so they showing malice towards them, and Goku Black and Beerus were like, they're fighting at this point. Like, Beerus is like telling Goku Black to get away from him, like he's trying to rest and sleep his years out, and Goku Black is like, no, I'm stuck to you, unbind me. And Beerus says he doesn't know what he's talking about, and the Grand Priest appears and says, it was me, I bonded you two together, and you two will be bonded together forever until you find a reincarnation. And so they've been traveling for years over the universe, you know. They also gained a few new abilities. And so yeah. And they finally got there to the end of the Nine-Tail attack in the Naruto universe. And then Naruto... Oh, wait, okay. So Naruto's sitting there crying, and then Minato's about to kill him with a kunai, but Beerus and Goku Black felt the malice coming off of God, of Minato towards the baby. He felt bad, so he shoot that way. Goku Black was dragged along. Goku Black wanted to pick Minma, but you know he couldn't, and they shoot straight into Naruto, and then just this purple, like this pink and purple light just beams off of Naruto, and everyone gets scared, but it was only for like a second, and Naruto's eyes turn cold, his hair turned black. He's gonna look like Goku Black, like identical to him. Or he doesn't have, well, you know what, hold on guys, let me see if I can find something better. Give me a second, I'll be right back. Okay guys, this is the best that I can do. So yeah, this is how Naruto's gonna look. And when they went in his body, a few things altered. Naruto's hair was now purple. His eyes were purple. Hold on guys, sorry about that. His eyes were purple. And also, he lost his emotions. Like, he had no more. He was more, well, he had some, but like, it wasn't like love or happiness. It was just like he got most of Goku Black's traits. He looks down on people. Like if you ever see him, he's looking down on you. He never like directly stares you in the eyes or looks up to anyone. If like someone's taller than him, he's not gonna look up to them. He's gonna always keep his head down. People will think that he's just scared of something, but no, this is him showing that he doesn't look up to people, and he thinks he reigns supreme of everyone, which kind of he does if you have both of their abilities. Like it's just powerful, and he lost, so he has like hatred and rage and all of those, but he doesn't show it. He has mostly a calm demeanor. And they see this and they're wondering what happened, and they think it was the Nine Tails altered his DNA or something, so they think he got the soul. And so they head back to the village. Instead of killing him, they thought they can torture the demon. And when they got back to the village, they told everyone blah blah blah, etc. etc. So we skip to a 4-year-old Naruto. Now he's walking in the village with his hands in his pockets, not saying anything. And he looks over, and there's a guy, staring at him. The reason no one is attacking Naruto is because on his second birthday, a man tried to attack Naruto, and Naruto finally, looked up, and this gaze made the man kneel down. It's like it was instinct. That's because Naruto was letting out ki pressure, and this is something I came up with. It basically stuns an enemy to show how superior. So like how animals, like a lion or something, they'll roar to show who's more superior, or they'll fight for it. Naruto doesn't have to fight for it. He can just look at you and you'll bend the knee and get down and have your head bowed to him. No one stands above him. And he also had a destruction key energy field around him. So like anything you like literally throw at him. So like say if someone threw a kunai at him, the kunai would disintegrate and be erased out of existence. And you know how bad it is that no one would ever remember the kunai. So like people would they would never remember throwing things at Naruto. Like this one guy, one night he was drunk and he decided, Naruto was taking a walk, and he decided to, try to punch Naruto. And when he punched, the force field came up, and, it disintegrated him fully. Like he was no more. And this is because Naruto is already little, and he already knows about Beerus and Goku Black. He just never trained with them. His sensory perception is so good that if something inhabited his body, and you're not even supposed to know it's in your body, he would know it from the start. Like when he was born, he already knew that there were two beings inhabiting his body. He just never felt the need to talk to them, but he knew they were there. He's close to omnipotent because that's what Zamasu was. And since Goku Black wished for whatever reincarnation or incarnation of him to have him and Zamazu's abilities. So Naruto has Zamazu's, Goku Black, which is also Zamazu, but like the god, he was a god, but you know which Zamazu I'm talking about, the one that teamed up with Goku Black or himself, and beerus abilities. So he's just overpowered, but this field only comes up when Naruto wanted to, and sometimes he doesn't. He preferred to fight hand to hand, but he just never look up at you or anything. And sometimes he'll even close his eyes just so he doesn't have to look at whoever you are. And he automatically dodges everything. You can barely touch him. Naruto's physical strength he's very powerful, and if he's inside of a near-death situation, he gets stronger, but he doesn't know this yet. And since he never got hurt, his physical abilities is not there yet. So Naruto is in the house. He walks in the house, and Minato and Kushin and them sees him, and they scoff. Naruto notices this but doesn't say anything because he doesn't really care. Like, he don't have any emotions to care. But he does say it's Kushina when she scoffs. She says, insolent, what is she says? Insolent woman, I dare you to do that again, and I'll kill you. And he gazes over, and they all bow their heads down. And Naruto walks up to the table and says, I'll tell you this one more time. Do not dare look down upon me and or look at me. And they say, Kushina says she's sorry, and Minato, being the fourth Hokage and everything, he lifts his head up and kicks Naruto away. Now, Naruto is still only like 3 years old. He can't really do anything. He's still 3. His physical strength is there, but he can't really do anything against Minato, a well-trained ninja, the fourth Hokage. And he says, how dare you talk to your mother like that? And Naruto gets up and he dusts himself off. It hurts, but he can't do anything about it. But that just gave him a Zenkai boost, because let me say he has that. And since Goku Black's, I think, was more than Goku's, his strength just went up. His strength, speed, and stamina just went up. And his durability just boosted to a enormous rate. So let's say I'm going to give it like a numbering system. So his strength and stamina, his strength was about like a 10. His stamina was a 10. His speed was a 10. His durability was a 10. That all boosted to a 30. So now Naruto is strong enough to lift a 50-ton boulder by himself with one hand. So like his Zenkai boosts are just incredible. I'm gonna say this is because of the boost from Zamazu's and Goku Black's abilities. And Beerus' abilities. So Naruto walks up to his room, but someone rings the doorbell. Naruto doesn't care, and he walks up, but he's interested in who it is. So Naruto sits on the stairs, and he's watching. And it's Jiraiya and Tsunade, and they come talk to Minato, and they all sitting on the couch. And Jiraiya says, Minato, I have great news for you. The sage, not the Sage Six Paths, the great the great sage told me that 2 of your children will be the child of prophecy, along with a Hyuga, an Uchiha, and it's the told sage said that one of his children would be a child of prophecy, and an Uchiha, and Hyuga. But Minato and them are thinking like it could be both Minma and Mito because they're basically twins, so twins count as one. And so they're thinking that, and Tsunade says she'll train Mito, and Jiraiya said he'll train Minma. Naruto is thinking like this is unfair, but he doesn't like show it. And then they say, we should kick out Naruto. Naruto hears this because he was walking up the stairs, about to go in his room, and he hears this and he looks over and he's thinking this is his opportunity. And so he sits in the room on the bed and he waits for them to come in. Because like if he just leaves on his own, they're going to try to hunt him down and hurt him. Same thing, but he has no time for that. So what Naruto does is he takes down his force field and everything, allowing himself to be hurt a lot, because he knows that's what's about to happen. And these chakra chains shoot through the room door and pull Naruto out, slamming him into the wall. And Naruto could feel this, like he can feel the pain, because he turned off his pain tolerance. He doesn't show any emotions about it, but it hurts. And they're just going ham on him. Jiraiya used Rasengan. Tsunade uses her enormous strength because they were trying to blow off some steam. And they were just going ham. And they threw some, what's the name? There's Minamon Mito threw some kunai into Naruto. And Naruto can feel this. And he doesn't say anything. So his Zenkai boost is like at 120 now. Like, he's enormously strong. He's like, I'll say he's about half of Goku's strength, half of it. Not fully there, but he's half of it. It's like Goku's base form. Matter of fact, he's in Goku's base form of strength, which is pretty strong. So yeah, that's how strong he is. He's Goku's base form of strength. And they were going ham on him, and they told him to get out. Now Naruto walks out, and he's bleeding and everything. And he makes it to the forest of death, and he passes out. Now Naruto opens his eyes, and he's just sitting there with a calm expression on his face. And Beerus and Goku Black is looking down upon him, saying, "Who are you, kid?" And Naruto stands up and says, "Do not look down upon me." And they both smile at this. It's because, like, this is their reincarnation. I'm sorry, guys. They don't say, "Who are you?" They're saying, "What are you doing here so early?" And Naruto says, "Well, I got hurt, and I figured if I got hurt, I can come in here and see who you two are, since I can't really meditate that well." And they're thinking, like, this kid is smart. We should train him. And Naruto was like, "Yes, you should." And they're like, "How do you know?" He's like, "You're in my mindscape. I can hear whatever you think, and you can hear whatever I think." And they're like, "Oh, right." And they sit down and talk, and they explain to Naruto what happened. Naruto understands that Beerus is a god of destruction, and Zamasu was originally a god of creation, but, he was moving towards that path of, destruction. So he's basically kind of both, if you really think about it. And Naruto says, fine, so when we start training, they say, first we have to heal you. Naruto says there's no need. And he already figured out how to use like a little bit of ki to heal himself. And they never thought this was possible. And so he heals all of his wounds and says, we'll get started tomorrow. That's what Naruto says. And goes to sleep, wakes up the next day. Now, the next day, they're working on physical strength. Goku Black tells Naruto, well, how our strength work. And he's not in the mindscape. He has a mental connection with both of them. So, like, he can hear them outside of his mindscape. You know what? I'm gonna do it what I did with the Trigun and the Grand Priest. They can astral project themselves out of his mind. And they say, well, Zamasu, Goku Black, he's still Zamasu though, but Goku Black kind of sounds cooler. He says, well, first we'll work on your physical strength. And Naruto says, what do I have to do? Push-ups, sit-ups? They were like, no, that wouldn't work for you. They say, Goku Black says, well, since, I took over the body of the Saiyan, they have something called a Zenkai boost. The more you get hurt, the more stronger you become. And Naruto's starting to get it. He's like, right. So if I get hurt more, I'll get stronger. And he was like, yes, a near-death experience will help you grow stronger and stronger. And there's a giant snake, and Naruto like, fine. And he jumps up to punch the snake, and the snake smacks him with his tail. And Naruto punches the snake, and the snake chomps down on Naruto, piercing him. And Naruto's just battling it out with the snake. And the snake alerts every other animal in there that, there's an intruder, basically, blah, 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 Then a giant bear comes and punches Naruto, and it stomps Naruto into the ground, and punching and kicking and slapping. And then a snake comes in and tail swaps Naruto away. Naruto comes back and punches the bear, and taking out its giant heart and throwing it to the ground. And the snake, tries to wrap around Naruto and crush him. But then Naruto bursts out of it, headbutting the snake and then sticking his hand in the snake's head and ripping out his brain. And he uses the snake's body to fight. And Naruto's been doing this for 1 month straight. He done this for a full month. Now Naruto's done with that. His Zenkai boost is 41, I'm gonna say 4 million now. So he is, in his base form, he's about Goku Super Saiyan. Just Super Saiyan. That's his base form. And Goku Black is proud of Naruto and he says, well, that was great. Now we have to train you in martial arts. And Beerus says he'll take care of this, and Goku Black says he wants to do it, and then they both just train him. So Naruto is trained in martial arts, and he's like an expert fighter. He's done this for 1 month. And like Naruto is an expert fighter, he's like a Goku level martial artist, which is like, pretty great. And then they teach him how to use, the next month, they teach him how to use ki, just regular ki. No, they teach him how to use God ki. He doesn't have regular ki, he has God ki. Goku Black teaches him how to use this, and Naruto unlocks Super Saiyan, but with a twist. It's just infused with God ki. It's still Super Saiyan, but just with God ki. So it makes him stronger. Now he's about, Goku. His Super Saiyan is about Goku and Super Saiyan 2. And Naruto trains with this form for about a month, doing the same thing with the animals. And Naruto knows how to infuse things with his ki. So like he's doing that. He's fused the animals with his ki to make it harder for him, and the animals are just going ham on Naruto, and they kind of respect Naruto now. They think of him as the king of, the forest of death and everything, or the king of the jungle or whatever. That's how they basically respect him. So now Naruto doesn't kill them or anything, like he just spars with them. And like the animals are beating Naruto up, and Naruto's beating the animals up, and afterwards, hey, Naruto takes, a rest for that 2-week time period to heal up. But he has regenerative healing factor since he's immortal from Zamasu. He figured that out one day. And then Goku Black and Naruto are training, and then he learns Super Saiyan 2 infused with, God Ki, and then it changes into, he uses that form for about a month, training with animals and boosting their Ki, and he trains, then once he's done with that month, he does Super Saiyan 3, infused with God Ki, and you already know, and the color is kind of different. His hair turns, actually, it doesn't turn yellow or blonde, it turns black. So I'm gonna say it's the Black Saiyan. That's the form's name. Yeah, Black Saiyan. Or if you guys have anything else to come up with, just put it in the comments and I'll use that name. But until then, I can only come up with Black Saiyan. That's basically what those forms are called. They're basically like his version of Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3. Basically. And everything. Naruto, on Super Saiyan 3, Naruto hair doesn't grow. His power just gets more enormous. Yeah, so. And then that's when, Naruto finally unlocks Super Saiyan Rose. Now, Naruto was excited about this, and Beerus is like, well, you finally unlocked it. Well, Goku Black says it. And Naruto has, learned all of Zamazu's abilities already. He got that down. He got the time ring, and this is what he wears with the collar. It's not really a collar, it's a choke. What is it? Like the thing around his neck in the picture, right here. He already has that. It's to limit his power, so it doesn't go out of control. Then Beerus starts to teach him about Destroyer Ki, And I'm gonna say Beerus had a little Angel Ki, so Naruto has a little bit of it, but he doesn't have too much of it. So he can create inanimate objects, but he can't really create life. So anything that's not living, he can create it. So yeah. And Naruto is trained in God of Destruction Ki, and he's learning it very well. Like he's kind of a prodigy, and he's learning this. And he fights with beerus on occasions where beerus has enough strength to manifest in a physical form, but they limit their power. And so yeah, he learns God of Destruction Ki and everything. And now Naruto has, the Eyes of Destruction. Now, this is something Beerus didn't know about. Naruto one day just thought, let me put God Ki and God of Destruction Ki, let me mix it together. They're basically the same thing, but I'm going to say they're different in this. They're separate keys. I'm just going to say that. And then he fused them together and put them in his eyes. And this increases his sight. So Naruto can see all the way to the Cloud Village. And everything. And he doesn't have chakra. He doesn't have it. No, Naruto doesn't. He has it, but he doesn't uses it. You know what I'm saying? He do use chakra. He mixed it with his God of Destruction Ki and his God Ki. So like it's all mixed together. Like it's just one big thing now. And now Naruto mixed God of Destruction Ki with his Black Saiyan forms. So one is basically on Broly's level 2 and then 3, he just mixing it with God of Destruction Ki, and then Rose, he mixed it with God of Destruction Ki, then he used Super Saiyan Rose 2, then Super Saiyan Rose 3, and that's where he really basically stops. He doesn't learn anything from there because there's nothing else for him to learn, but, kind of got something. But Naruto has one more form, which, Beerus and Zamasu told Naruto not to ever use. So Naruto flew into space one day. This is a flashback, by the way. He flew into space one day, and he was in space training. Now Naruto went into a star. Yes, he went into a star, but it was like basically, I'm gonna say it was a black star, and that's not a real thing, but I'm gonna make it a thing. It has negative energy in it. Like the energy is very negative. And Naruto thought he could absorb it all, because he has the ability to absorb energy. And he thought he could absorb all of it. And he absorbs it. And this was a mistake because all the negative energy started to mess with Naruto. He wasn't in any pain, but like it changed his mindset. He just wanted death and carnage. And he goes on a rampage destroying things. And Naruto was so close to destroying the sun until, Beerus and Goku Black, mustered up enough power to, make physical forms. And they had to take Naruto down. And they asked what happened. Naruto says he doesn't know. When he absorbed the energy, he just changed into like an enraged form. And they were thinking about when Goku fought. I'm gonna say Beerus was thinking about when Goku fought Broly, because I'm gonna say Beerus found out from Whis. And he was like, it's just like that Saiyan named Broly. And Naruto asks who, and then Beerus showed him his memories of what Whis showed him, and he was like, but yours is just more powerful. And Naruto was like, that's cool. And so Naruto's been going around absorbing more and more of these stars, which boosts his power and everything. In total, he absorbed 20, and that was the max. But once he gets stronger, he can absorb more. And then that's when Naruto, settled down for about another month. Now, at this point, Naruto is actually, it's been 5 years. Say Naruto is 13, and he looks like this already. And he has his ears pierced and everything. Whatever. This is how Naruto looks. This is what he wears. He has the time ring on and everything. Now, Naruto has nothing else to learn, so he is just, at this point, that's all. He just trains in his physical strength and everything. And he's told by Beerus and Goku Black to never use his Super Saiyan Rose forms unless he have to. So yeah. Oh, and also he has the ability to like make copies of himself. Like you know how Goku Black, he cuts a hole with his scythe into space and time, and then other versions of him appear. Naruto doesn't have to do that. He literally can just like vibrate his body to like a fast speed because Naruto is very fast and just make another him. Naruto was also taught by Beerus and Goku Black to be ruthless, to not accept anything from anyone. Also, he was also told to never release ki pressure because Naruto's ki pressure is so much that it engulfs all the five nations. Like one day, Naruto was accidentally training and it got out of hand, and he engulfed all the five great nations plus the little small villages and everything. Even the Otsutsuki felt it, which brought everyone to their knees, and they were bowing down, but they didn't know what they were bowing down to. And then Naruto hurried up and released it. Everyone thought it was just weird and something just happened. But Naruto also has two pets. Now, yeah, he has two dire wolves. They were known to go extinct, but they really didn't. And there are two black majestic wolves, jet black fur and red eyes. So yeah, and they go everywhere Naruto go. They're always with him, and they're well trained, and they have ki. Basically, they are super strong and fast, and they can infuse their claws with ki. Like basically, you know how Naruto or Goku Black makes a ki blade around his hand. That's what they do with their claws. And their teeth, they can do it with their teeth as well. And they can shoot powerful mouth beams. So yeah, they're like Naruto's support. Goku Black and Beerus is always going to be there with Naruto. They're his counseling, just in case he has another rage state where he only wants death and carnage. They don't mind it, but they don't want him to destroy the entire universe before he gets to conquer it. So yeah. Naruto heads back to the village wearing this, and he has his face covered with a black Ambu mask with red lines, like Kakashi's, but just black and red. And he walks in, and they ask, "Who are you?" And they say, "Take off your mask." And Naruto takes off his mask, and they see his face, and they're like, "Huh, it's you, Brad. We thought you were dead." And Naruto looks at them, releasing ki pressure, and he says, "How dare you talk to me like that?" Naruto got so proficient in ki that he can form anything out of ki. And he just makes a blade and slices their heads off and walks in the village. But Ambu saw this, and this was Kakashi, and he says, "Lord, fourth, your son has returned." And he says, "Oh, Menma has returned, but I thought he was already here." And they're like, "No, your other son, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze." And Minato scoffs and says, "Bring him here." And the Ambu, which was Kakashi, appeared and says, "Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze." And then Naruto just looks over and releases ki pressure and says, "That's not my name." I'm saying he calls himself Goku Black now. Yeah, that's what he calls himself. He says, "My name is Goku Black, and that's what you refer to me as." And he says, "Right, Goku Black, Lord Fourth wants you." And he says, "Fine, see what this old man wants." Naruto wasn't upset. He said that in a calm demeanor, like a very calm demeanor. And Naruto walks, well, he just basically not flying Raijin. What was it? What is the Goku does? Not Ultra. God, instant transmission. But Naruto is so skilled with it. He doesn't have to put his hand on his head. He can just instant transmission right in there. And he appears. They think he's sensuin up in there. I think that's how you say it. I never was able to get it down. I'm just gonna say body flicker because I never got sensuin, however you say it. Body flickers in there, but it really was just, him uh instant transmission in there. And he says, "How may I help you, Lord Forth?" And he says, "I'm your father." That's how you will respect me as. And I'm gonna say Minma, Mito, and Kushina and Dry, so now they were all in there. And Naruto says, "No, you're not. My name is not Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. It is actually Goku Black, and that's how you will refer to me as." And he says, "How dare you talk to me like that?" And Naruto says, "Is this what you called me here for, Lord Fourth?" And I'm like, "You brat, where have you been?" Naruto says, "Out of the village." And they're like, he was like, "How dare you leave the village without my permission?" Naruto says, "I can do whatever I want since I'm not a part of your family." He says, "No." He says, "How dare you?" And he says, "Well, actually, you disown me." He said, "I've never done such a thing." And like he's trying to argue Naruto down. Naruto says, "Do you remember on Minman Mito's 5th birthday?" And then Naruto came back to the village and he, hid his presence. And he says, "You made them clan, the owner of the Uzumaki and Namikaze clan, and Mito was going to be the Uzumaki, and Senju and Minma was going to be the Namikaze and Senju clan leader." He was starstruck because he didn't know Naruto knew this. He was like, "If you read the laws, it says if the eldest is not named the clan." Sorry, guys. If the eldest is not named the clan head, then that means he is disowned. And Minato thinks about this, and he really didn't remember that. Now, Minato and Kushina actually been feeling bad ever since Naruto left and everything, but right now they're just mad at him for leaving because they thinking like he could have got hurt. Now they're trying to really earn his respect back. Naruto says, "But Lord Fourth, I'm here for another reason. I came to enroll inside of the academy." He says, "But it's the tuning exams." He says, tuning exam. He says it's the graduation exam. He says, "I know. That's why I want to participate. I want to become a Guinean." And the Beerus and Goku Black are cracking up, and they're laughing. And he says, and they're like dying laughing because they can feel their emotions. And Minma Mito says, "How dare you talk to the father like that?" And Minma runs up to Naruto with a Rasengan in hand, and they think Minma's about to hurt Naruto, and they say stop, but none of them move. They just said stop like they were actually doing something. And Naruto like makes a ki blast in his hand and points it at Minma and fires it, and it just blows off the whole wall that Minma flew out of. And Minma flew into the street, and there's like dust and smoke, and Naruto is walking out. His eyes are glowing red, and Minma feels fear for the first time in his life. And Naruto says, "How dare you attack me, mortal?" And he looks down on Minma, and Minma tries to get up, but then Naruto releases ki pressure, which puts everyone at their knees. And he stumps on Minma's head and says, "Bow down to me." And Minma, it's like he's trying to speak, but he can't. And he says, "Don't you ever dare try to attack me. I'm a being far greater than you." And he kicks Minma so hard that he flies through multiple buildings and stands. And Minato flying Raijin's out. Naruto instant transmissions right beside him. And he tells him, "I would like to enroll." Minato says, "Fine." And Naruto instant transmissions away to his new house because, well, his house is big because Naruto Um, he's really basically just been doing assassination missions or ravaging villages, eradicating them, taking the money and everything. Naruto doesn't care. He doesn't show pity or mercy for anyone. But there was this girl he did meet. Her name is, I'm gonna use the same name from the, what's her name, Saber. He taught her ki and everything. Let's do a flashback. He met Saber after he just ravaged a village when he was um, 7. Yeah, he was that cold. He murdered an entire village. And he met her, and they became close friends. And he taught her ki and everything, and blah blah blah. And she has Destroyer ki now and God ki, just like Naruto. But the reason she's not with him at the time is because she's in space trying to, absorb a positive star. Yeah, there's a negative and there's a positive star. Basically, she doesn't really use the story key. She has it, but she doesn't really use it. She mostly uses creation key, where she can create anything. She can form anything with her creation key. So she formed key wings and everything to fly. Cause she never got down to just a regular flying. Her physical strength is, she's not as powerful as Naruto. Naruto's like hella strong. She's not as strong as him, but she's close to it. But she's as skilled as him. She still uses jutsu with ki mixed together, so it makes like if you use the fireball jutsu, it'd be the same size as Goku's spirit bomb and everything. If she used a water style, it'd be the same size and everything. It would be the same size as a tsunami, basically. So yeah, and yeah, so he's waiting for her to come back down. And this is going to probably take her a little longer because she's trying to absorb, 10 of them. That's her max. So Naruto goes inside of the house and he doesn't realize that there's someone else in there. And, well, he realizes that there's someone else is in there because he felt it before he walked in, but he doesn't say anything. And he puts on his Ambu mask, covering his hair, and his eyes glow red. And he says, "Whoever you are, you came into the wrong house," flaring his Super Saiyan Black form. Yeah, that's what I'm calling it, Super Saiyan Black. I think that's what I called it. It's his Super Saiyan Black form, and just this black energy is coming off of him, which is negative energy, because he infused it with his Super Saiyan Black form, and his eyes are glowing red, and his hair changed black. But he says, "But you picked the wrong time to mess with me." And he turns around. Well, he just slowly turns around like a badass and stares him down. And he shuts it off because it's Saber, because that's her name. Because if you watch the original video of What If Naruto Was Trigun and the Grand Priest, you would know Naruto's girlfriend in there is Saber. And she jumps on Naruto and says, "Were you really about to hurt me?" He says, "No, I didn't know that it was you." She says, "Oh, you better have not." He says, "You finally finished?" She says, "Yes." And then he says, "Well, I have to tell the fourth Hokage to enroll you as well." And she says, "Alright, fine, but I'm just tired now. I absorbed a lot, and my creation ki has became on par with your destroyer ki or negative ki. They're two different keys. It's hard for me to explain. Like negative ki is basically like Naruto kind of feeds off negative energy. So like if someone is scared of him, he feeds off of that and grows stronger. Destroyer ki like it destroys. Literally, he wipes you from existence. She uses God ki and creation ki or positive. No, she uses creation ki different and positive ki different. She feeds off positive energy from the universe, which is always going to be there. So yeah, and her angel wings go back into her body, and she says she's sleepy. Naruto says fine, but she said he asks is she hungry. She says yes. So he cooks something and they eat and they go to bed. So yeah, guys, that's where I'm gonna leave it off. Part 4 I think will come out tomorrow for what if Naruto was Trigun and the Grand Priest reincarnation, and neglected tomorrow, and part 2 of this will come out tomorrow as well. So yeah, see you guys later. Please like and subscribe. Peace out.